Hey guys, hope that you are having a wonderful day. Today we are going to see if we can't get the motor out of old Blue here. Let's get started. Okay, so where we last left off, we were undoing the bolts for the passenger side exhaust. So I got a 9/16 3/8 inch socket. Got a 3/8 wobble extension. I'm about to undo the bolts on the passenger side exhaust manifold. Okay guys, after throwing some wrenches and breaking a stud, we did get, or I did, I got the exhaust manifold disconnected from the exhaust, and now we're about to get the bolts on the bell housing to the motor. They are 9/16. We're going to use a swivel socket. If you can, use a 6-point socket and not a 12-point socket, because the 6 points are stronger. Unfortunately, all that we have is a 12-point socket right now, so that's just what we're going to have to use. I'm maneuvering to the back of the motor, of the new motor, so I can show you guys where those bolts are. So there's no bolt in the top center of these 6.2s. At least if you do have one there, it's odd. So there's a bolt right behind the head on both sides. Right behind the head, there's a bolt right here in line with the bottom of the head on both sides. There's also a bolt below that. And we may have a situation on one of the bolts, because I guess this would be the passenger side. So right here there isn't a bolt. What there is a support beam that goes from here, where there's supposed to be a bolt, to the transfer case, and so we'll have to see what happens there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But anyways, we're moving along here. Hopefully we can get this motor out today. That would be awesome. Alright, catch up with you guys in a few minutes. Alright guys, small update video for you here. So we got the bolts off of the bell housing. Those were 9/16, and we just used some very long extensions. Got it right from the back of the transfer case, so really long extensions, and a swivel socket. We used a 6-point. We ended up going out and getting that instead of using the 12-point that we had. The motor mounts are also 9/16, just one bolt that goes through the clamshell. We just took off the oil cooler lines. Well, we're in the process of taking off the second one, but there's two of them. We took off the first one and that bracket that holds it on. The bracket was 13 millimeter, and the the nuts that hold on the lines are 3/4 inch and was it 7/8? Yep. Yeah, 7/8 inch. So you're gonna need those for that. We also need to take off the bolts that connect the torque converter to the flywheel. I forgot to mention that in the last recording. And the other thing too is the kickdown cable up here. There's some plastic clips that you can take out to take this off of the bracket here. But before that, there's also a let me see if I can get a better angle. Hang on, bear with me. Alright, got up on top of here. So you can see down in there, there's a quick release right there for the kickdown cable. So you just take that quick release off, and then you can take it off of the throttle linkage. Let's get to where you can see it. I think you can see it down in there. And then you just undo those clips right there and take the whole kickdown cable out. Am I missing anything, Dad?
I can't think of anything at the moment. Once we get the whole cooler lines done and out of the way,
yeah,
we're basically going to undo the torque converter bolts.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
A special handle that grabs those teeth in the flywheel to turn it and undo each bolt. Once those bolts are done, the main motor mounts are out, then we can start to... We also put a jack underneath the...
Yeah, we also did that with the 2x4
to support the tranny. So show them that if you want to get down there.
Yeah. So you can see what we did there with the jack. And it's got a 2x4 in between the jack and the oil pan to support it for when we do finally disconnect this. It's getting pretty dark outside, so I don't know if we're going to get the motor out tonight. We might do that tomorrow, but we're going to do our best. Alright guys, we decided to call it a night. I'm loaded up in the car and I'm about to go get some food for the fam. But we decided that we weren't going to get that oil cooling line off, that last one. The first one I kind of bent it off, so that's how I got it off. But the second one we just couldn't get it off without damaging it. So I think that we're just going to cut it off or try to get the motor out without disconnecting it, because we just can't disconnect it. It's super duper duper tight. So tomorrow hopefully we'll get those torque converter bolts out, and then I believe the engine mount bolts and the kickdown cable, and the motor will be 100% disconnected from the truck without a doubt. So that's really cool. Hopefully we can get that done tomorrow. But anyways, I gotta go. Time to get some food. There's a cat eye out there. It's hard to see through these dirty windows, but there's cat eye out there rocking a nice flag like I am. Yay yay. Okay guys, it's the next day. We're just walking out to the garage right now. Time to get the tarp off and get those glow plugs out so we can rotate the motor and do the torque converter bolts. Alright, so I'm taking one of the glow plugs off right now. It's a 3/8 deep well socket on the glow plug there, and I'm just twisting it back and forth. So I'll tighten it a little bit and I'll loosen it a little bit and rinse and repeat so that it doesn't break and strip the threads. Alright, we got all the glow plugs removed. Now I moved over to the kickdown cable. So right there with the screwdriver, you can see that little slot that I've got stuck in, and it's braced up against this, what's that?
Injector pump.
That's the injector pump, okay. And what I did was, you can see the other part of it, that metal bit that I'm touching with my finger, it popped right out of this. You just slide it back, as you can see that channel there. You just slide it off of that channel. You just pull that forward to slide it out, and then you just gently squeeze these little clips here and get it out of this metal bracket. And then you can, I don't know, maybe we can zip tie it right here, this wire hanging down, or we'll just leave it dangling there. But anyways, moving on to the next thing. Okay, so currently I am taking the fuel pump off so I can get to the engine mount bolt nut from here, and it is a 11mm bolt that's holding the fuel pump on both sides. Alright guys, so I got this this fuel pump out. Don't make the mistakes that I did. I took these 11mm bolts out that were holding the fuel pump on, and I forgot to get this fuel line right here that goes to the injector pump off. So don't make that mistake. Definitely get that injector line off first. I believe it's a 5/8 for this injector line, and then it's 11mm for these bolts. So yeah, the update right now is at the all parts store they did not have the flywheel wrench that we need to turn the motor so that we can get all the torque converter bolts off. So we're unfortunately not going to be able to do all of that today. We got to order one. And we tried getting a long pull handle and using that nut right there on the front of this pulley for the crank, and that nut was tightening and the pulley was not moving, so we're obviously not turning it there. So we definitely need that flywheel wrench in order to get enough leverage, if we can turn it at all, because it does have water in it. We know that it may not be able to turn, so we'll see what comes up of all of this I guess next time we work on it. I am so excited that we finally got the motor out of the truck, and I have started taking the exhaust manifold off of this motor and the other motor. You can see that one right there, the other one down there. So I'll be swapping those over and some other parts that that new motor needs. The torque converter is still on this motor because it doesn't turn. We tried many things, the motor won't turn, so it's probably locked up real good. So we'll get that torque converter off, we'll transfer over the flywheel because that other motor needs it, and then we'll be slapping it back into this truck. Hopefully the next time y'all see this truck, we'll be putting that motor back in. And I know that I didn't cover a whole lot of things, a whole lot of the minor things, taking the motor out, so when I put the motor back in, I will do my best to make sure that I get those things covered for you guys, so that y'all know what to expect when you do something similar to this. Also, we've got big, huge plans for this truck, and I can't tell y'all about them, but I can tell you about one of them. The one thing that we're going to be starting to do is we're going to be